Tennessee Titans' new left tackle of the future, JC Latham, is a monster, and it's clear on the tape. I'll show you on today's film breakdown from Tic Tac Titans. Titans fans, welcome into another film breakdown from Tic Tac Titans. I am your host, Tyler Rowland, a certified film junkie, breaking down the X's and O's with you all year long. I'm the host of the Locked On Titans podcast. I've covered the team for Sports Illustrated, USA Today, and I've been a Tennessee Titans fanatic for 25 years. On today's episode, we're looking at JC Latham, the Tennessee Titans' new top 10 pick in the draft, Alabama offensive tackle. And again, he is an absolute monster on the tape. We're going to look at him in pass protection. We're going to look at him in run blocking as well. And we're going to look at the good and the bad, so you know what Latham needs to clean up at the next level. Before we dive in, do want to remind you guys, make sure you get subscribed, stay subscribed to the Tic Tac Titans channel for year-round Tennessee Titans film content. This week, I'm going to do a breakdown on T'Vondre Sweat. I'm going to do a breakdown on Cedric Gray and the rest of the draftees for the Tennessee Titans. You're not going to want to miss it. So hit subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. But with all that being said, as we always do, let's step into the film room. So the two biggest things that stand out on JC Latham's tape is just his raw power in general, and then the power in his hands. Once he latches on to a defender, the rep is basically over every single time. And we see that on full display here. You're going to have JC Latham at right tackle for Alabama, and Texas is going to run a little bit of a twist stunt. So this defensive tackle right here is looking to slant to the outside, draw both of these offensive linemen out, and then allow 41 to loop inside. And the way this has to work is basically the guard has to pass this off to JC Latham. Latham has to get his hands on the defensive tackle, and that should allow the guard to slide over and take the inside looper. And once Latham gets his hands on this guy, again, it's over. The latch power, the grip power of JC Latham, and then what he does to guys once he does get a grip on him, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So you're going to see 97, just a little tell there, takes a little step outside, comes out. Now you got to pass this off, okay? And Latham has his hands on 97 now. This is now his responsibility and his responsibility only. Do your job. And not only does he do his job and occupy the guy, he says, get out the club, young man. Woo! I mean, let's just appreciate the pancake for what it is one more time. I mean, boom, nasty finish, lay on him, a little splash block for you guys to finish this rep. All right, so I used this rep when I did my pre-draft preview of all of the top offensive tackles in the class, and I just love it so much that I had to bring it back here. So you have Latham at right tackle, and this is not going to be a stunt pickup or anything like that. This is just a one-on-one pass block, and we've talked about how strong JC Latham's hands are, his grip, his latch, but it's not just the power in the hands, it's the quickness in the hands as well, and it's on full display in this rep because the defensive end gets his hands in JC Latham's chest first. Boom, right there. So right now, the defender has inside leverage on JC Latham, but watch the quickness in his hands combined with the power in his hands to change that right away. Boom. Did you see that right there? Knocks down the hands. Boom. And almost knocks the edge rusher off balance. So it's not just the power in the hands, the quickness in the hands, and then right now it's a race. Who can get their hands back inside first? Latham does. Boom, reattaches, and now, I mean, this just looks like a man versus a child, the way that JC Latham is able to control this rep from here on out. You're done. You're absolutely done. The rep is over once he gets inside your chest with that sort of power. So we've looked at a twist stunt, we've looked at one-on-one pass protection, but something that JC Latham is going to have to deal with at the next level as well is slant. So you have JC Latham here at right tackle once again for Alabama, and what the defensive line is going to do is they're going to run a slant, okay? So what 4 is going to try to do is cross JC Latham's face with quickness, and to me, this is a major mistake because once JC Latham gets you off balance or you're off balance and he gets his hands on you, you're not going to win. You're in absolute trouble. And that's what happens here. The defender tries to cross JC Latham's face. And look, Latham has hands on him. And I got to tell you, it's not going to go well for you from here. And Latham is just like, okay, you're off balance. You're not in a good body position. I have control of you. And where are you going to go next? To the ground. Boom. Splash block, pancake, absolutely beautiful stuff. Let's just appreciate it one more time. Just one more time. Boom. And this is desperately what the Tennessee Titans need from their offensive line this year. So when we talk about JC Latham, a lot of the conversation is focused on his power, his hands, his grip, but there's technique in there as well. And when you have an Alabama offensive lineman, obviously they're going to be well coached. So you have JC Latham again out here, and not a slant, not a twist stunt, just another one-on-one pass block rep. And what I want to show you is a ghost hand technique. So I will compare this to Joe Alt, who I was a big fan of, and say that Joe Alt does not do this on his tape. He was a two-hand striker. His hands didn't work independently, didn't see a lot of ghost strikes and advanced technique, but JC Latham is just scratching the surface of his technique and what he's going to be able to do. And with Bill Callahan as his coach at the next level, we should see this improve at a very vast rate, you know what I mean? But even little stuff like this gives me hope for the technical refinement that Latham could show. Watch Latham's outside hand here shoot, and this is kind of a ghost hand technique where you're trying to make the pass rusher declare early. Look at that outside hand, fakes. He fakes the outside hand to make the pass rusher think that that's where he's going to come first, and then gets him with the inside hand. Did you see that? It's very subtle, but this is the type of stuff that wins in the trenches. Outside hand fake, inside hand latch. Got ya. Got ya. Done. Beautiful. Beautiful. And, I mean, he never even gets close. Imagine Will Levis being able to throw deep with this kind of protection. Excellent stuff from JC Latham. All right, now we're going to look at some run blocking, and this is where Latham really, really stands out. There is nobody else in this class who is moving guys as consistently as JC Latham is. So you're going to have Latham here at the right tackle spot once again for Alabama, and he's just going to have a down block on the Texas defensive lineman. And a down block is when you have somebody inside leverage on you, and you're just trying to wash them down this way, take them where they're at. And Latham just overpowers people consistently on these type of blocks. It's all over his tape. And you run right behind a guy like this because you know that you're going to get displacement. Look at that. He's inside of him, driving him. I mean, he has moved this man 5 or 6 yards. And remember, football fundamentally is a sport that is about one man moving another man against his will. That is what football is at its core, and nobody does that better in this class than JC Latham. Look, he's got him backwards. We're talking 10 yards, 12 yards of displacement at this point. I mean, this sort of stuff has to have Bill Callahan salivating when he watches the tape. So outside of one-on-one down blocks in the run game, you also see a ton of double team displacement from JC Latham. So you're going to have him again here at the right tackle spot, and what the idea is here is 71 and Latham are going to get a double team on 51, but watch just how much movement JC Latham is able to create once he gets involved in the block. It's tremendous. So he slants towards him, 71 gets body on him, but watch when Latham comes in, the movement that they get. Boom, boom, drive. Now, this play doesn't go great for Alabama, but look at what Latham is doing to this guy. Pancake there at the end. I mean, ooh, man. Boom. This is where it goes. See ya. I mean, that's absolutely tremendous stuff. This rep is so much fun. I mean, it's just absolutely tremendous from Latham. You have him right here at right tackle, and again, it's going to be another double team displacement block. So 77 is here, and then Latham is going to come in with the double team and then climb up to the second level. And there's a penalty thrown on this play, and I think it's holding on this guard, 70-something, whatever. But, I mean, that doesn't take away from what JC Latham is able to do on this play and how impressive it is. Watch him get the movement once he gets involved in the double team. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Boom! I mean, boom. You can call that holding if you want, but that's JC Latham just putting a man on the ground. Climbs to the second level, does a good job of meeting his target. Good balance, hands on. Running back comes through. Think maybe could have got a little bit more on this play. Run straight up. There's a little bit on his legs, but either way, again, man, Boom. That sort of raw power is just hard to find with the mobility that you have in a guy like JC Latham. It's just tremendous. Climb to the second level. This is incredible. All right, so we've seen double teams. Now I want to look at another one-on-one block for JC Latham. So, of course, he's going to be over here again at right tackle. And worth noting, some people are worried about him switching to left tackle. Bill Callahan told him he thinks that he could switch to left tackle. And Latham played left tackle at IMG Academy in high school. He is a left tackle. He only went to right tackle because Alabama had first-round pick Evan Neal at left tackle when he showed up. And then he just stayed at right tackle for continuity purposes. He's already discussed this. So I am not that worried about Latham being able to transition to left tackle. But either way, we're going to have a one-on-one block here, and what I want you to notice is this defender right here is on the outside of JC Latham's shoulder. And what Latham is going to have to do is he's going to have to engage with the defensive lineman and then flip his hips to get on the other side of him so that the run can go to the outside. So we've talked about the raw power. We've talked about the hands. We've talked about the nastiness, the finish. But there's also incredible flexibility and nimble feet in here as well, which makes JC Latham such a special prospect. So, hands on, and this is still not great leverage. The defender has outside leverage still to this point. Watch Latham flip his hips here. Boom. And as he's flipping his hips, he's latching inside of the defender and taking him to the ground. Latch, inside hand, you can see it right here. This inside paw on the inside of the shoulder pads of the defender, flips the hips, latch, take him to the ground, open up a huge hole for your quarterback to run through. That is impressive stuff. All right, folks, so every video that I put out here on the Tic Tac Titans YouTube channel, there have been people in the comments saying, can we see some bad plays from these guys? What do they need to work on? And I try not to focus too much on the negativity as I'm starting the channel, but this is for you. So there are definitely concerns with JC Latham as well, but let me say this before I get into it. Dropping the weight and playing at a lesser weight, 20 pounds lighter, should be able to help some of these issues. So JC Latham has raw power, raw strength right here at right tackle, but speed has a tendency to give him trouble, okay? He's a big guy, and he's playing at 360 in these videos, so obviously he might have some trouble with quicker guys. And when you're that big and you know that you have some trouble with speed, what you do is you have the tendency to get too wide when you pass drop, all right? Because you don't want to get beat to the edge by a guy with speed. So you're trying to get out there so that you can meet him because you know that that's a way that you can lose. So what happens is when you do that and you know, hey, I got to get wide in a hurry, well, now what you're doing is you're opening up an avenue to lose inside. You're getting too wide too early, and we see that all over JC Latham's tape, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well. Again, before you freak out in the comments, dropping the weight should help. Technique should help. Good coaching should help him get through this and figure this out. But it's definitely something that it's fair to be worried about. You know what I mean? So he's too wide here. And look at that outside leg. Completely flat. No balance. And 11 is easily just going to move inside and get to the quarterback. Off balance. Leans forward. Head looking down at the ground. Beat inside. Luckily, you get some help from 77, but in the NFL, when you're the stud left tackle, you might not have that help. You're not expected to need that help all the time, and that's something that you definitely have to worry about with JC Latham. And this is another example right here, same situation against number 11, Latham at right tackle. It's going to be 11 coming in here and using an inside move to beat JC Latham, and there's just too much room for 11 to make this move. Be inside, and look at that. I mean, you know, that's a concern. That is a concern. You got to worry about that. This is his big losses when you watch the tape. This is where Latham loses the most, to inside moves, because he's worried about that outside speed. Swim move over top of him. He's looking down at the ground again. He's off balance. The guy has passed him and gets to the quarterback. Really great job by Jermaine Burton there trying to make that play. I think they called it incomplete. Yeah, they did. But again, You know, these are the little things that you worry about with Latham at the next level. When JC Latham was drafted, they used this rep on the broadcast to try to talk about some of the concerns here. I honestly don't think it's that big of a concern, but again, there's an indecisiveness to his game at times, and he's going to get blitzed. So I'll wait for the play to run a little bit before we start to telestrate a little. So he's looking inside right here. Latham's looking inside at 94. Great blitz by Michigan, too. Hate that. Go Ohio State, but whatever. Michigan deserves their credit. 8's coming out, and then 0's coming in. All right, look. You have to be decisive here. You have to choose. Latham's right here. Look at these feet. This is not where you want to be. He's caught off guard. He's surprised. He's out of position. He's high. And at the end of the day, you got to pick somebody. Like, the rule is inside out. That's what you're going to want to do. Inside to out. So here I'd like to take him. I'd like him to take 0 because you can't block 2 guys. It's just you can't have the expectation that he's going to block 2 guys, but you got to take somebody and work inside out because the inside pressure is the killer. Latham just picks nobody. Indecisive, not quick enough to recover, and a sack where both of the guys get to him. So to me, that's coaching. You know, that's quickness, decisiveness, and when you know what you're supposed to do, you can move quicker and play quicker. But hey, you know, these are things that you do have to worry about and that need to improve at the next level. So it's no surprise that JC Latham wants to get his hands on you as quick as possible. With those hands and that grip, he wants to do that. But at times, he can lunge forward to try to do that and lose his balance. And we see that here against Texas. So Latham's right here. He's going to have a one-on-one block with 91. And what he does is he just leans forward, lunges forward, and it makes it easy for 91 to swipe him down and get right past him. Again, this is balance. This is technique, all right? Don't rely on your strength and your hands. Rely on your technique. Keep your base good. Don't jump too quick. Let them come to you, okay? Leaning. Head down, looking at the ground. This is not good, all right? This is technique. This is coaching. This isn't an athletic issue or, you know, a talent issue. This can be coached, but it is something that, you know, at the next level, man, when you're playing against the best edge rushers in the world, they're going to know how to get you out of position. That is not what you want. And now you're on the ground, you know, and 91 has a free run. Milroe is able to get it out to the other side, which helps him stay away, but that's a tough rep to watch for sure. So now we're going to look at run blocking concerns. And again, the biggest problem that you have with JC Latham's tape is he gets beat inside. And getting beat inside is a product of being worried about speed on the outside because he knows that he can be beat to the outside with speed, and that opens up those vulnerabilities to the inside. So you have Latham here, and his responsibility is going to be one-on-one against this outside guy. All right? And that's a faster player, a smaller player for Auburn. And you can tell that Latham is worried about it. Way far out. Way far out. Did you see all the steps that he took to get out there? Way far out. That front foot way too far up the field. And he even gets a little bit of hands on him, but it doesn't matter because he's out of position. And he gets beat to the inside. And his man is able to chase and get to the ball carrier. So, again, getting beat inside because he's worried about speed because that is where he needs to improve. And as I mentioned, dropping 20 pounds, being more nimble on his feet should help some of those concerns, but it's not going to fix them entirely, okay? So he's going to have to be more patient and not get himself out of position when he gets to the NFL. All right, so once again, the speed, the quickness, the flexibility in the hips. Latham is a powerful guy, but he's got to improve in these areas. And, you know, to a certain point, some of these athletic things that we talk about, they aren't things that you can necessarily improve a ton. That's why dropping the weight is so important, because that's really one of the only true avenues that Latham can have to fix this problem. So you're going to have Latham over here on the right side once again, and his job here is to climb up to the second level and get to the linebacker. And this is where a lot of these reps we're about to go over here to finish this segment and finish this video, this is where he loses. is he gets up to the second level and he misses his target because it's a more athletic player and he just isn't athletic enough or nimble enough or agile enough to make sure that he stays on balance. See, look, just loses to the outside. Too far inside, the guy's too fast and gets around him and is able to get in the hole and kind of blow things up. All right, I'm going to be honest. This one's even more disappointing than the last one. So you have JC Latham right here. All right, 95, who's head up on Latham, is going to slant over, and that's going to leave Latham with a one-on-one block with number 41 right here in the hole. So it's just you and him. Get on him, win the block. And 41 just outclasses him with speed and outclasses him without athleticism. One-on-one. Look at that. That's head up. That's one-on-one right there. You're right in the phone booth with him. Get on his body. Get your hands out. Get to him. Make the play. And Latham gets beat with speed. Boom. Jukes inside of him. Gets a push on him, but it's not enough. And 41's right there to get a hit. Doesn't take the ball carrier down. But, again, that's the type of thing right there where at the second level in the NFL, when linebackers are better, faster, bigger, stronger, when he gets through here, a linebacker in the NFL is probably making this tackle and smacking the running back and ending this run inside the 5-yard line. Like, the athleticism, the agility, the speed, that's what you got to worry about here. And again, I will reiterate, dropping the weight will have to help. Just another example of second-level targeting. You have Latham right here. He's going to get through a little bit of traffic and have a linebacker lined up one-on-one, and he just gets beat by athleticism, quickness, and speed, you know? So, I mean, I don't have a lot more to say because we've talked about why this is happening and how big of an issue it is. I mean, this is one-on-one with a tiny guy, number 23. Like, you got to be able to make this block. He just dips underneath of him and makes the play. Like, that's not good enough, all right? You have to do better. You have to be able to hit your targets at the second level, especially if they're going to have him doing displacement blocks on double teams and then climbing up. He's going to have to get better at this because this guy is fast, but there are bigger athletes in the NFL that are just as fast as number 23, and that's an area of improvement for sure. Titans fans, I hope you enjoyed that film breakdown of JC Latham. Again, I think he's the left tackle of the future for the Tennessee Titans. So much to like on tape. There is stuff to clean up, but as I mentioned throughout the video, dropping that weight and getting in better shape should help him clean up some of the issues that we see. Overall, very happy with the decision to draft JC Latham. I think it's going to be a huge improvement on the offensive line for the Tennessee Titans. As a reminder, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Going to have a ton of film content coming your way this week on the Titans draft class. A ton of film content coming your way on the Tennessee Titans throughout the summer and into the season as well. Throw a thumbs up on the video. But with that being said, that is going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown, and tighten up.